Hi guys, it's Marla. How are you all doing? I miss you all so much. Oh my gosh. I don't know that I can do a yoga class without the personal interactions of all of my yoga people, without the humor and the feedback and the exchange of energy. It's gonna be something different, but we're gonna do it. Welcome to my humble space up in my quarters. It's small, it's carpeted, but it's mine. I would be downstairs on the hardwood floors, which is preferable, but with a new cat, a dog, 2 parakeets, goldfish, 2 teenage boys, and a husband, I figured my own space up here would probably be more conducive to a yoga class. So, without further ado, let's get going, shall we? We are going to begin lying down, so go ahead and ease yourselves on back into any supine position that feels good. Once you begin to settle yourself into this space, take a couple of moments. Take more than a couple of moments to begin to create space between yourselves and the outside world. Take a couple of nice big deep breaths, a heavy sigh or 2 or 3, reminding ourselves that it is okay if that sigh escapes as a moan or a groan or a scream. Let it out. Let it go. When you have taken as many of these cleansing breaths as you need to, allow yourself to settle into stillness. Shake out your arms, shake out your legs, and let yourself begin to settle into this space, this here and now. As we continue to create space between ourselves and the crazy outside world, begin to bring your focus and your awareness inward. Quiet your mind. Allow your thoughts to come and to go. Acknowledging that we all have chaos in our heads, especially now during these trying times. Acknowledge the existence of that chaos. Know that you are not the only one. And it's with this acknowledgement that we can then continue to let it go. And with quiet minds and still bodies, we begin to really draw our awareness inward. The path inward is through our breath. So as you seal your lips and you begin to become just a little bit more mindful, just a little bit more purposeful in your breathing. Big deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. And as we slowly begin to build into a deep 3-part breath, so that every inhale that we draw in is just a little deeper than the one before, and our exhales linger longer than the previous inhale. We begin to feel the coolness of the air as we inhale. We start to notice its warmth as we exhale, and we begin to feel the gentle rise and fall of the chest and the expansion of the abdomen. We begin to notice a brief pause at the top and at the bottom of the breath. It is during this moment of neither inhale nor exhale, this moment of suspension. This is where our practice grows. This is where we might reach a little higher, or ground down a little deeper, or we might hold a pose for just one moment more. So we strive to expand this portion of the breath as well, trusting that the next breath will come, the next inhale, the next exhale, it is there. And as we continue to practice this 3-part breath, we notice that soon it becomes one breath. It's a breath without beginning and a breath without end. Soon it becomes one breath. you'd like to set an intention for your practice here today, now is the perfect time to begin to weave a positive thought or a powerful I am statement into your breath. If nothing in particular comes to mind, let your breath be your intention. I breathe in. I breathe out. I am present. And here you may choose to keep your eyes closed, or you can gently open them, and we'll begin to move into a good morning stretch. So with an inhale, as we reach our hands up towards the sky and then back towards the wall behind us, we'll point our toes and lengthen our legs, and then we get just a little longer on one side and a little longer on the other. And as we exhale, we'll draw our knees into our chest. With our fingertips wrapping around the shins, we give ourselves a nice big squeeze. And then we continue to flow, inhaling as we lengthen, and exhaling as we curl. This is your first vinyasa. It's your introduction to movement with breath. Striving here to make that connection between movement and breath. Noticing here if we might tend to rush one while we hold the other. And we'll go one more time through this full body stretch, just making it the biggest, deepest, best breath of the day. And then we'll all come to meet with both knees drawn into the chest. Relaxing the upper body down onto the mat, shoulder blades melting into the earth. Our inhale will open up the arms into a T, and as we exhale, we'll slowly release the knees to the right. Shoulders continuing to melt into the mat, the tongue and the jaw are soft. Right fingertips might come down to the outside of the left knee to gently coax ourselves just a little deeper into the twist. And as we continue to bring our awareness inward, we might notice where along the left side body do we feel that resistance? Is it in the rib cage, the low back? Do you feel it in the hip? Take a big deep breath in and stay for your exhale. And then our inhale will draw the knees back on up to center, and exhale to slowly release to the left. Left fingertips coming to the outside of the right knee if you'd like to take this a little bit further. And reminding ourselves here that we can always modify. You can modify by dropping the heels down onto the mat first and then letting the knees fall to the side. Or you might place a block or a book underneath the left knee to bring the floor just a little closer. Take one more big deep breath in right here. And stay for your exhale. And then our next inhale will again draw the knees back on up to center. We'll come to meet in legs up the wall. Heels pressing straight up to the sky. We find this delicate balance of stacking ankles on top of knees on top of hips. And as we draw the belly button deep into the spine, we lift through the pelvic floor, pressing the lumbar spine down into the mat. We allow our arms to relax alongside the body. Turning the palms to the sky to open up the chest, we soften the tongue and soften the jaw. We'll take one big deep breath in right here, and as we exhale, we'll slowly lower the right leg down onto the mat. So we're making this L shape with the legs. Continuing to press out through the bottoms of both heels. Left toes point back towards the wall behind you, right toes straight up to the sky. Take another breath in here, and as we exhale, we'll draw the left knee in towards the left armpit. So we're physically moving that left knee to the outer rib cage, creating a little opening into the hips, a little stretch coming into that left inner thigh. You could take this a little bit further if you'd like to by bringing your left fingertips to the outside of your left foot. This creates just a little bit more pressure on that left leg. Take a breath in and stay for your exhale. And with our next inhale, we'll draw the right knee back on up to center. Both knees come to join. We give ourselves a little rock from side to side, and we'll again come to meet in legs up the wall. Take a breath in here, and as we exhale, Left leg slowly lowers down onto the mat. Continuing to energize out through the bottom of both heels. So we're creating this lengthening into the hamstring while also opening up the left hip flexor. Take a breath in, and with an exhale, we'll draw the right knee in towards the right armpit. Again, here, physically moving that right leg to the outer edge of the rib cage. Take it a little bit further if you'd like to, by bringing the fingertips to the outer edge of the foot. Take a breath. And stay for your exhale. With our next inhale, we'll draw the left knee back on up to center and we'll come to meet in a full happy baby. You can find a little bit of movement here and gently sway from side to side, extending one leg out long and then the other. Pressing the lumbar spine into the mat, lifting through the pelvic floor and drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Take one more big deep breath in. And stay for your exhale. With our next inhale, we'll draw the knees back on up to center. Taking support behind the knees here, we'll begin to rock and roll ourselves into a neutral tabletop position. So we're going to start to build up a little bit of momentum here, and you're more than welcome to take as many of these rocks and rolls as feels good, creating space between the vertebrae and kind of lengthening and massaging out the spine. So as we begin to rock and roll, tucking in the tailbone, tucking in the chin, we build up enough momentum to maybe cross one ankle over the other, or maybe you come into an easy seat. Perfect. So however it is you get to hands and knees, please find your path of least resistance to get there. As we come into this neutral tabletop position, we just want to make sure that everything is neatly stacked. Our elbows remain soft yet strong. So here we'll begin to flow through cow and cat. We'll inhale as we drop the belly, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And exhale to round out the back, tuck in the tailbone and tuck in the chin. Inhaling for cow and exhaling into cat. And then here, as you continue to flow, matching your movement to your breath. Allowing yourself here to get as wiggly as you like. And again, here I encourage you to close your eyes. Listen to your body. Where does it need extra movement? Where do you need to linger? We'll go one more time through both cow and cat. And then we'll come to meet in child's pose. As we come to meet in child's pose, give yourself an opportunity here to reconnect with your breath. To maybe restate your intention. To bring your awareness again inward. It's normal to wander off your mat, outside your room, and back out into the outside world. When you feel yourself being pulled in that direction, come back to your breath. Come back to the coolness of the air as you inhale. Linger in the warmth of your exhale. From child's pose, we'll begin to set ourselves up for our first downward facing dog. So with your next inhale, just lift your heart, lift your gaze, and begin to look out towards the short edge of the mat in front of you. With your arms extended in that direction, palms are starfished apart, and we begin to root down into the fingertips, the knuckles, and then the pads of the hands. If you've ever wondered what is the perfect amount of space between hands and toes for downward facing dog, this is a great place to take that measurement. With our next inhale, we'll lift the hips, curl the toes, and exhale, press back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, find a little bit of movement. Bicycle the heels down to the mat. You can begin to deeply bend the knees, press your sits bones back towards the wall behind you, and then slowly straighten the knees to get more length through the hamstrings. Hands press the floor away from the body. Moving the chest just a little closer towards the thighs. Reminding ourselves here that a little bend in the knees can help to find that hinging at the hip instead of trying to find straight knees and rounding the back. So we want to have a nice flat back. Let the crown of the head just drip gently, just rest gently between the elbows. With an inhale, we'll all lift the heels up high, deeply bend the knees, a quick glance forward, and as you exhale, step or hop the feet forward for your first forward fold. And as you begin to settle into your first forward fold, find yourself first a little heavy in the heels, light in the toes. Pick up all 10 toes and spread them wide, and then slowly return them down towards the earth. A block here to bring the floor a little closer is a welcome thing. And then as we slowly begin to rock the weight of the body slightly forward, we find ourselves just a little heavier in the toes, really rooting down into the balls of the big toes and the pinky toes. Roll the shoulders up away from the earth and let the crown of the head drip down towards the mat. A gentle shaking of the head, yes and no. Our inhale is a half lift. Fingertips here begin to slide up the front of the shins. And as we broaden the collarbone to draw the shoulder blades down and back, we might be reminded of legs up the wall. A breath in and exhale to fold. And as we soften the knees, we'll inhale to rise all the way to the top, lifting the heart, lifting the gaze. Enjoy that little back bend right up at the top. And exhale into mountain pose. Palms to heart center. We'll inhale to press the palms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. With our hands on the mat beside the feet, we'll step back with the right foot. As we make that a nice big long step back with the right foot, we strive to keep our left knee situated right up over our left heel. You're welcome here to melt the right knee down into the mat and uncurl the toes for a low lunge, or keep the right knee lifted. And with an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up to the sky, finding our high lunge. Whether you're in high lunge or low lunge, we strive to open up the hip flexor, maybe working that right leg as far towards straight as possible while keeping the left knee situated right up over the left heel. Striving to stack shoulders right up on top of hips, we find a little tilt of the pelvic bone. Draw the belly button in, continue to lift through the pelvic floor. A breath in, and exhale to release the hands back down to the mat. We'll step back with the front foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale to move forward for plank or modified plank. Modified plank is just taken on the knees. Exhale to lower slowly into crocodile. So here we use our toes to press the weight of the body slightly forward. We strive to find that nice, tight hugging of the elbows into the rib cage. And then here you might release right down onto the belly and uncurl the toes. And as you roll the shoulder blades down and back, we'll inhale to lift the gaze and lift the heart. Little to no weight here to begin with in the hands. Continue to roll those shoulders down and back. Exhale, release. Curl the toes under. Take a big deep breath in, and as we exhale, we'll press back up into plank pose and then back into downward facing dog. We're going to go through that here one more time, a little bit more fluidly, a little bit more movement to breath. Inhale, move forward for plank. Exhale, lower slowly into crocodile. Inhale to scoop forward for up dog or cobra. Curl the toes under. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll inhale as we step forward with the right foot. Striving here again to walk those toes all the way up until the ankle is just below the knee. Inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky for our high lunge. Find yourself a focal point and breathe. Nice deep bend in the right knee. Make all those little adjustments that you need to. Take another big deep breath in and exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. We'll step forward with the back foot. Forward fold. Inhale for a half lift and exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale to rise. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, sink back into chair. As we sink back into our chair pose, take a quick glance down and just make sure that you can still see your toes just beyond your knees. Continue here to press your feet down and out to engage into that inward spiral. A little tuck of the tailbone, so we just have a nice flat back. Draw the belly button in, continue to lift through the pelvic floor. Soften the shoulders. With an inhale, we'll press back into airplane, straightening the knees far enough to bring the spine parallel to the mat below. Shoulder blades are drawn down and back to create space between the chin and the chest and a broadness into the collarbone. Take a breath. And an exhale. Take another big deep breath in. And exhale to fold. Inhale for a half lift. And exhale, fold. With our hands on the mat beside the feet, we'll step back with the right foot. Inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky. High lunge. Take a breath in right here. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. And exhale to release the hands back down to the mat. We'll step back with the front foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward for plank or modified plank. Exhale, lower slowly into crocodile. Inhale, scoop forward for up dog or cobra. Curl the toes under. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Our inhale will step us forward with the right foot. And inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky. Be here with your exhale. Take a breath in, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. We'll step forward with the back foot. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Knees are soft. Inhale, rise. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, sink back into chair. Remember, each chair is just a little deeper than the one before. Just because I can't see you doesn't mean that you can't do it. We'll inhale to press back into airplane and exhale, fold. Perfect. Find a little bit of movement, little ragdoll sway. And we'll again inhale for a half lift and exhale to fold. With our hands here on the mat beside the feet, we'll step back with the right foot. Again, nice big long step back with the right foot. Hands come back behind the toes to be able to create that equal distribution of weight. Great place here to use a block to the inside of the left foot if you'd like to. We're going to inhale here as we open up the left arm to the sky. Press into the ball of your left big toe. That's going to keep that knee tucked in towards the center line of the body. Right hand presses the floor away from the body as we strive to move the right rib cage towards the left inner thigh. Don't forget about that back foot. Continue to press out through the bottom of the right heel. Take a breath and exhale to release the left hand back down to the mat. We'll step back with the front foot. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll inhale to move forward for plank or modified plank. And as we exhale, we'll lower just halfway down. Inhale to press back up into high plank and back into downward facing dog. I know you all have missed that. We'll inhale to lift the heels up high. Deeply bend the knees. Exhale, step or hop the feet forward. Forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale to rise all the way to the top. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, sink back into chair. Inhale, press back into airplane. And exhale to fold. With our hands on the mat beside the feet, we'll step or hop the feet back into plank pose. Take a big deep breath in right here. And exhale, press back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll inhale to step forward with the right foot. Again, striving to walk those toes all the way up until the ankle is just below the knee. Left hand now remains planted firmly down onto the mat or onto a block or a book, whatever you might have, to bring the floor a little bit closer. Press into the ball of your right big toe to keep that knee from falling out. We want to keep it hugged in towards the center line of the body. And then we'll inhale as we open up the right arm to the sky. Left hand presses the floor away. So we feel this like right here in the hip. At least I do. Take one more big deep breath in. And exhale to fold. We'll step back with the front foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward for plank or modified plank. Here we go again. Exhale, lower slowly into crocodile. Hold it. Inhale, press back up into high plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. I can't promise that that will be the last transition like that. Take a big deep breath in right here. Reconnect with your breath. Restate your intention. Continue to create space between yourself and the outside world. From this downward facing dog, we'll inhale as we raise our right leg straight up into the air for our three-legged down dog. Pressing out through the bottom of the right heel, flex the foot, point the toes down. Bring your memory back to legs up the wall in that L shape as we lowered one leg to the mat. Take a big deep breath in right here. As we exhale, we're going to draw that right knee into the nose. Round out the back, draw the belly button in, tuck in the chin. Inhale to kick it back up high. And then exhale, right knee to the left elbow. So we're going to find a twist right here. Tap that knee to the back of the elbow. Inhale to kick it back up high. And then exhale, right knee to the right elbow. So we're moving that knee to the outer rib cage, just as we did when we were on our back. And then we're going to extend that right leg out long. Pivot on the balls of both big toes. And we'll find that straddle forward fold. One foot on, one foot off. That is where you're at, and that's okay. Inhale for a half lift. And exhale to fold. And with our inhale, we'll walk the hands back up towards the short edge of the mat. You're going to pivot on that left toe and swing that right leg back up behind you for a three-legged downward facing dog. From this downward facing dog, we'll inhale as we draw the right knee into the nose, and as we exhale, hold it, and then pull it all the way up through into that runner's lunge. Right knee is deeply bent, hips are nice and low. We'll inhale as we step forward with the back foot into chair pose. Bring the palms to heart center. Draw the belly button in, lift through the pelvic floor. Heavy in the heels, light in the toes, and then find that equal distribution of weight. Press the feet down and out. Take one more breath. Sink a little lower. We'll inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. And exhale, fold. With our hands on the mat beside the feet, we'll step or hop the feet back into plank pose. Take a big deep breath in right here, and exhale, press back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll inhale as we raise our left leg straight up into the air for our three-legged down dog. Hips are square, energizing out through the bottoms of both heels. Hands press the floor away from the body. Take a big deep breath in, and as we exhale, we'll draw the left knee to the nose. Round out the back, draw the belly button in, tuck in the chin. Inhale to kick it back up high, and then exhale, left knee to the right elbow. So we find here that twist. Tap the knee to the elbow if you can. Inhale to kick it back up high, and then exhale, left knee to the left elbow. Squeeze that left oblique. So you move forward into that plank, and then you're going to just extend that left leg out long, right where it is. Pivot on the ball of your right big toe. Now if you close your eyes, you'll notice that you're in a straddle forward fold. Don't look at where your feet are on the mat in relation to any of the sides of your mat. Just close your eyes and be in this forward fold. With an inhale, we'll find a half lift. Nice flat back. And exhale to fold. With our next inhale, we'll begin to walk the hands back up towards the short edge of the mat. Pivot on the ball of your right big toe, and we'll swing that left leg back up into that three-legged downward facing dog. Take a big deep breath in right here, and as we exhale, we'll draw the left knee into the nose. Round out the back, draw the belly button in, hold it, and then pull it all the way through into that runner's lunge. Hips are low, knee is deep. So with an inhale, we'll step forward with the back foot. Chair pose. Palms come to heart center. Heavy in the heels, light in the toes. Pick up all 10 toes, spread them wide, and then begin to really actively press your feet down and out. Gently return the toes back down to the mat. Inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. We'll inhale for a half lift and exhale to fold. With our hands on the mat beside the feet, we'll step or hop the feet back into plank pose. Take a big deep breath in right here. Exhale, lower just halfway down. Inhale, press back up into high plank, and then back into downward facing dog. And then here, good time to rest. Find peace in child's pose. Grab a little drink of water. Or you can continue to flow through your half series or modified half series. Match your movement to your breath. Linger where it feels best or is most needed. You can omit any of these poses if you're taking care of your shoulders or your elbows. Maybe you really enjoy that up dog, so you linger in that back bend for a couple of extra breaths. This is your opportunity to personalize your practice however you like. We'll all come to meet in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll inhale as we raise our right leg straight up into the air for our three-legged down dog. As we exhale, right knee to the nose. Round out the back, draw the belly button in, tuck in the tailbone. Inhale to kick it back up high, and then exhale, right knee to the left elbow. So as we find that tap behind the left elbow, here we're going to then straighten that right leg. We're going to pivot on the ball of the left big toe, dropping the heel down onto the mat, and we'll inhale for our rock star. Left hand reaching up to the sky. Take a big deep breath in right here. Left hand comes back down to the mat. We come up onto the rear toes, and we'll kick that right foot back into our three-legged downward facing dog. Take a breath in, and then we'll exhale right knee to the right elbow. Squeeze that right oblique. Inhale to kick it back up high. And then exhale, right knee to the nose. Round out the back, draw it all the way through into that runner's lunge. Inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky for our high lunge. And as we exhale, hands come to the low back. Interlace the fingers. Press the knuckles down towards the heel. Take a big deep breath in right here. And as we exhale, we'll humble our warrior. So we pivot on the ball of that left big toe, creating just a little openness in the hips so that as we bow, that right knee comes to the outside edge of the rib cage, just as we did on our backs, knuckles reaching up towards the sky. Take a breath in here, soften the elbows, hands come to the mat. We come up onto the rear toes. Inhale to again sweep the arms back up to the sky. One more chair, guys. I know how much you guys love chair, and I know you've really missed these chairs. So that right knee is already nice and deeply bent. Hips are already nice and low. You know where we're going. Let's inhale to step forward with that back foot into chair pose. Take a big deep breath in right here. You might bring your palms to heart center as you settle yourself in. Inhale to sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. With our hands on the mat beside the feet, we'll step or hop the feet back into plank pose and then downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a breath and stay for your exhale. Our inhale will raise the left leg straight up into the air for our three-legged down dog. And then exhale, left knee to the nose, round out the back, draw the belly button in. Don't think about where we're going. Inhale, kick that left leg back up high. And then exhale, left knee to the right elbow. So we find that twist. We find that tap. And then we extend that left leg out long. We pivot on the ball of the right big toe to drop the heel down onto the mat and inhale to open up the right arm to the sky. Rainbow the hips. Take a big deep breath in, smile, and as we exhale, we'll return to three-legged downward facing dog. Right hand comes down, we come up onto the rear toes, left leg lifts to the sky. Here's our inhale, and then exhale, left knee to the nose. Round at the back, draw the belly button in, and then draw it all the way through into that runner's lunge. Our inhale sweeps the arms up to the sky for our high lunge, and we settle in. Hands come to the low back. Interlace the fingers. Press the knuckles down towards the right heel. Take a breath in here. With our exhale, we'll humble our warrior. Pivoting on the ball of the right big toe to create that openness in the hips so that as we bow, crown of the head drips down towards the mat. Knuckles reach up towards the sky. Left inner thigh is to the outside of the left rib cage. And we breathe. And as we soften the elbows, releasing the hands to the mat, we come up onto the rear toes. Our inhale will step us forward with the back foot into chair pose. Palms to heart center. Take a big deep breath in and stay for your exhale. Our inhale will press the palms up to the sky. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. From our forward fold, we're going to inhale right into chair pose. You didn't think that last one was going to be the last one, did you? Our balance pose today is boat. But how do we get to boat when we're in chair? Well, I'll take you there. Take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, sink a little lower. Again, take a big deep breath in, exhale, sink a little lower. One more time, big deep breath in, exhale, sink a little lower, and then all the way down, right into boat pose. So, funny thing here in boat pose, my camera stopped recording as I got to this point, so I'm doing it again. So this is twice, guys. Feel free to do another boat after this video is all said and done, and I won't be mad. From here, maybe we can straighten the legs. Take a big deep breath in. Can you reach a little higher? Take one more big deep breath in and exhale into low boat. Draw the belly button in, press the lumbar spine into the mat. Draw your hip points towards your lower rib cage. Take a breath and exhale. Let it go. As you settle here into this stillness, notice your heartbeat. Notice your breath. Come back to the nuances of the breath, the coolness of the air as you inhale, its warmth as you exhale. Feel the gentle rise and fall of the chest. Or maybe it's not so gentle right now after that boat. Feel the beating of the heart. Noticing how with every breath, the body returns to its own natural rhythms. With our next inhale, as we draw the knees into the chest, we give ourselves a little rock from side to side. We'll extend the right leg out long. Right fingertips come to the outside of the left knee, left arm opens up into a T. And as we gently twist to the right, left palm turns to the sky to open the shoulder, to open the chest. Your gaze might come out over your left fingertips, or maybe your eyes just simply remain closed. And then with an inhale, as we draw that left knee back and up to center, our right knee will come to join it. And as we extend our left leg out long, We'll bring our left fingertips to the outside of the right knee, and as we exhale, we'll gently twist to the left. Fill up here with breath. Remind yourself that you can stay for as long as you like to. With our next inhale, we'll again draw the knees back on up to center. A little rock from side to side, and we'll again return to legs up the wall. This will be our inversion for today. If there's another inversion in your practice that you're working on, please feel free to partake in anything that gets the hips a little higher than the heart. You might enjoy a bridge pose. You might slip a block or a book underneath your sacral spine for a restorative bridge pose. You might enjoy returning to happy baby. Or maybe there's a plow pose or a shoulder stand in your practice. And if there are any other postures or poses that I didn't get to that you were hoping for today, please feel free to move through anything else that your body desires. And then we'll begin to settle ourselves into that space that is most comfortable for us for a few moments of final relaxation. And we remind ourselves that we begin in stillness and we end in stillness. And it is here within this stillness that we give ourselves an opportunity to again check in, to observe, to notice how we feel. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. To truly check in. Please feel free to find music of your choice for Savasana. Settle yourself in. Enjoy Savasana for as long as you like. Thank you for joining me, and I really, truly hope to see you all soon. Namaste.